Right, so let's go ahead and launch FS2Crew. And this time I'm going to remember to wait before I start PACX. So we are going to be carrying on with our PACX career. And I always start PACX too soon. And so this time I'm going to remember to start PACX when our cabin crew asks if we can start boarding. Right, so let's run the pre-flight events and start going through our flows. So first things first, our first officer will go shortly to do the walk around. We want to check nose wheel steering off, hydraulic pumps all off, landing gear lever down, flaps up, spoilers up, radar should be off, which is down here. That's checked. Okay, then parking brake set, ADG manual release stowed, emergency flaps normal. Then we can turn our battery on and we'll do the fire monitor test, which is tested. And we can then fire up the APU. Right, and we'll wait for the APU to power up, which it is doing so now. And then we will start with our originating flow.
I'm out for the walk around.
Cool, he's off for the walk around. Okay, electric panel, all set to auto, no other lights. Wait for the APU to start up, which it should be ready shortly. There we go, we can turn on the packs and we can also then turn on the IRS. Okay, so IRS is set. Come back up to the fuel panel, those should all be off, which they are. Bleeds auto, start panel switches deselected, hydraulics. I'm not sure how to do the test, but after the test we set all of these to auto, except for 3A, which doesn't have auto. Pressurization panel, all good, all lights out. Air conditioning packs are on, we're on the APU. Anti-ice, windshield heats low, and this view is freaking me out. Where was I? Emergency lights armed. The stall test. So we need to set our trim to 6. And let's just clear those and we can flip this up and double check that we have our stall warning and shaker and all of that. Cool. Clocks 1404, 1405. Cool. Right, CVR test. We hold this guy for 5 seconds and make sure we get a green light. Tested. Standby instruments. I don't think this one actually cages, but anyway. O2 pressure green. MLG overheat. Overheat. Tested. Thrust levers shut off. Reversers armed. And radar test. It's not actually simulated, but we get the test symbol. That's good enough. Okay, wait for the first officer to come back. But let's go and fill this out first. So we'll grab that. Right, we're flying from Tambo today down to Durban King Shaka. And our route is Apdak. And then UQ48 to AppMat. And that's it. Right, we can then do departure will be, I think 03, yeah, still 03. And we're doing AppDAC 1 Bravo. Can put that in.
I'm back from the walk around, all looks good.
back to the index, and we're arriving into runway 24. Yeah, 24 is the runway that I like. That's cool. Or is it? Oh no, 6 is the runway that I like, where you go all the way around and come in. That's interesting. Oh, 24 is actually pretty cool. You fly along down the coast there. I think that's the one that gets used the most anyway. Right, so that's done. Then we can come across here and set this. So tanks today, 4300, and 0 fuel weight, 27200. Put that in, set our payload, copy that to the FMS. Trim is 7.2. Cool, that's set. The other thing we need to do then is just come here to VNav. No, that's where I wanted to go. 330. That's quite high, I think, for the CRJ on this route, but we want to get above all of the weather, so I suppose that's the plan. Okay, that's set, and our flex we can do 50. So that is set as well. And then I also just like to turn this off. That on. Cool. FMS good to go. Originating check.
Stand by. Maintenance status.
Complete left. Set and checked.
Complete right. Gear pins.
Stowed.
Removed. Hydraulic test.
Complete.
Ice detector test.
Complete.
Stall test.
Complete.
Clock.
1409, set left.
1409. Set right. CVR test.
Complete.
MLG overheat test.
Complete.
Radar test.
Complete.
Originating check complete.
Right, that's done. So now we should be in a couple of minutes ready to start boarding. Oh, the weather looks like it's getting worse, actually. Yeah, the visibility over the runway is definitely worse than it was just now, so that's going to be interesting. Yeah, look, these clouds are moving in this way. Okay, it always makes it interesting with a bit of weather. Right, while we're waiting for that, let's set this. So we'll say the runway's wet, just in case there's any rain out there, which I think there might be. And we can set those V speeds. Right, we'll set our heading also to 30, because we're departing runway 03. Go heading and speed. And our cruise altitude, we're going right up to 33,000. Is that 33? There we go. Right, let's set our altimeters. Double check. 028, 1028. Right, let's go through our departure brief so long. Are you ready for the departure brief?
Go ahead.
Okay, so we will be departing from Joburg, runway 03 left. Let me get our information here. So, weather for Johannesburg is not great. Let's actually bring up the METAR here. Okay, IFR conditions. Winds 060 at 11 knots, so quite a bit of wind. Visibility, not great, 6,000 feet. Light showers, clouds broken at 400, few clouds 3,000. And we also have cumulonimbus clouds in the area.
The security and safety checks are all done. Are you good to start boarding?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, before we carry on, let's just get our passengers boarding then. So we are continuing our career. This is our second flight for Salt Air. Right, there we go, our passengers are now boarding. Okay, back to weather. QNH 1027. There we go, we can adjust that. Right. What else have we got? Okay, that's about it. So weather is a bit of a concern. Visibility is not the best, but nothing too crazy. We should be all fine. ATIS is sorted. QNH 1027 is set. And let's bring up, we need this guy. And we also need APTAC 1 Bravo. Let's open that up so long. So our plate for departure 10-3, it is the APTAC 1 Bravo, which is this one. So we're runway heading until 6.4 DME, and then right turn to 102 degrees, and then direct to APTAC. Pretty simple. So what do they say here? Okay, so the only speed restriction we have is our standard 250 below 10k, and our MSA today 8,400 feet. Airport elevation is 5558. Right, so that's all checked. Then let's go and have a look at our taxi route today, which is also pretty simple. So we are over here on the Charlie apron. So we'll push to face our left, which is east, and we'll simply taxi India, and we'll do an intersection departure from India. This is hotspot 1, so we need to be aware of aircraft taxiing out onto Lima, here on Alpha, particularly from this side, and also aircraft coming in on Lima to enter the apron at this point over here. So quite a bit to be aware of. Not expecting anyone to be taxiing north on Alpha, but obviously we'll check that out anyway. Right, we are flexing to 50 degrees today, flaps 8 for takeoff. V speeds are set, and they are as follows. V1 128, rotate 135, V2 142, and we will be climbing at 193. Okay, fuel, we have a total of 4.2 tons on board, and that is our departure briefing. Straight after departure, we'll be climbing up to 33,000 feet. Any questions?
No questions.
Okay, departure briefing is done. So next we can move on to pre-start flow. Okay, we got about a minute or so before we need to run that, and the viz is definitely getting even worse. Okay, passengers are still boarding. Let's start our pre-start flow. So landing elevation. Our landing elevation today is 304 feet. Now, I believe they added a command for the first officer to set this, but I don't know if you can do it on the ground, so let's try. Set landing elevation 304. Yeah, so it appears you cannot do it on the ground, which is most of the commands anyway, so we'll do it ourselves, which is fine. Okay, so we need to be 300. Perfect. Okay, that said, anti-skid test I don't know how to do because there's no test setting on here, but it is armed. Yaw dampers we can engage. And we'll do these guys as well. Why can't, there we go. Okay, oxygen flow test will come to this side. That's tested. Pre-start check.
Stand by. Fuel quantity.
Released with 4,200 kilograms on board.
4,275 kilograms. Confirmed. Cabin size.
On.
Pressurization.
Set.
Altimeters.
1027 set left and center. 1027 set left and center.
1028. Set right and cross-checked. Flight instruments.
Set and checked.
Set right. Anti-skid test.
Complete.
Oxygen flow.
Check left.
Checked right. FMS.
Verified.
Radios.
Set left.
Set right. Takeoff brief.
Complete.
Pre-start check complete.
Okay, so it seems we're a little bit ahead of the curve here, so it's still suggesting that we run this pre-start check, which we've already done. Okay, next we're going to receive the load sheet, but let's hop outside and set up our pushback so long. Okay, so let's show our little indicator. Wow, we're quite far. Okay, that's too close. That looks pretty good. Maybe something like that. And we need to turn this around. Okay, that should work. Right, so we're just waiting for the boarding to finish up, and we should also get a load sheet shortly. Okay, while we're waiting, I actually want to turn some lights on here. It is afternoon, it's only 2:30, but with the weather, it's pretty dark. Okay, we can actually go ahead and speed this up then.
Ladies and gentlemen, whilst we make our final preparations for departure, I would like to introduce you to our safety procedures. Please make sure that your hand luggage doesn't block the aisles or exits while using the overhead
Okay, and we
lockers
can set
or
up
the area under the seats in front of you.
to start. We'll let the tug know we're almost ready.
You can make the most of the available space by
Flight deck to ground.
Go ahead, flight deck.
Hey guys,
We'll be ready
all packs
shortly.
are on board. Are we clear to
Roger.
close?
in the overhead lockers, and these lights
Yes.
fall out when they are reopened.
Thanks. Let me know if you need
For
anything.
your safety and the safety of those around you.
Okay, double check the parking brake is set, which it is.
Secure, all passengers are aboard.
And they should be closing up. Closed, we can release the chocks. These need to close as well. Cool. Before start, fuel pumps both on. Hydraulic 3A on. Beacon light. Oh, why is the nav light off? Those are supposed to be on. Interesting. Okay, verify all doors are closed. So let's go doors. Cool, they are all closed now. Right, let's run pre-flight, pre-start. Pre-start check.
Stand by. Fuel quantity.
Released with 4260 kilograms on board.
4260 kilograms. Confirmed. Cabin size.
On.
Pressurization.
Set.
Altimeters.
Set. 1027 set left and center.
1028. Set right and cross check. Flight instruments.
Okay, I've actually got the wrong checklist here. Cancel checklist.
Roger.
Engine start check.
APU.
On.
Takeoff data. Set for 31456 kilograms. V speeds are V1 128, VR 135, V2 142, VFTO 193, flaps 8, set right.
Set and checked.
Trims engage and centered. 7.4 seatbelt shoulder harness.
Checked left.
Checked right. Hydraulic pumps.
Auto and on.
Beacon.
On.
Nose wheel steering.
Off.
Doors.
Closed.
Engine start check complete.
Okay. We are ready to start engines. All we need to do next is let the ground crew know that they can start the push. Right. Weather looks very interesting. Flight deck to ground.
Go ahead, flight deck.
We are ready for pushback and engine start.
Roger. Roger. Release the parking brakes, please.
Brakes released.
Pushing back. You are cleared behind AE. Start your engines at your discretion.
Start engine 1.
Starting engine 1.
Pushback complete. Set parking brakes, please.
Brakes set.
Roger. Okay, the tow bar is disconnected and the equipment is clear. We will see you on the right with the pin.
Clear to disconnect.
Thanks. Have a good flight. See you later.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Engine
please
1
pay
start
attention as we
complete.
display the
Start
safety
engine 2.
features and procedures of the aircraft
Starting
in
engine
case
2.
of an emergency. During an emergency, please remain in your seats with your seatbelts fastened and your seats in the upright position. In case of a drop in cabin pressure, breathing masks will drop from the ceiling and should be placed over your head. If there is smoke in the cabin during the evacuation of the aircraft, the walkway emergency lights will display to the exits, which are located here and here. In case of an extreme emergency landing, you will be instructed to get into the brace position, which is executed by placing your head between your knees with your hands over your head. We would also like to remind you that you should turn off all electronic devices. We thank you for paying attention during this brief presentation.
Engine 2 start complete.
All portable electronic equipment and mobile phones should be switched off, as we are now about to start our pre-flight safety briefing. We are now going to take you through our safety procedures and equipment. As this information is for your benefit, we ask you to watch and listen carefully. The safety card in your seat area shows details of escape routes, oxygen masks and life jackets. It also shows the bracing position which you must adopt in an emergency landing. On the main deck there are 2 exits at the rear of the first class cabin and 2 at the front and rear of each other cabin. On the upper deck there is an emergency exit on each side in the middle of the cabin. In the unlikely event of having to use the escape slide, leave all hand baggage behind and remove high-heeled shoes as they may tear the slide. Please now ensure that your table is folded away, your seat back is upright with the armrest down and your seat belt fastened. The seat belt is fastened and adjusted like this, and unfastened like this.
Pre-taxi check.
AP.
When the fasten seat belt
Set.
signs are on,
Anti-ice.
you must go
Set.
back to your
Electrics.
seat and fasten
Checked.
your seat belt securely.
Nose wheel steering.
For your own comfort and safety,
Armed.
we recommend you keep
Flaps.
your seat
Flaps
belt
8
fastened
set.
at all times and visible.
Flaps
to
8
avoid being
confirmed.
disturbed in flight.
Flight controls.
Check left.
Checked right. Pre-taxi check complete.
If the cabin air supplies fail,
Taxi light on.
oxygen will be provided. Mask
Clear
like
left.
this will appear automatically.
Clear right.
Stay in your seat and pull a mask towards you. This will open your oxygen supply. Place the mask over your mouth and nose like this and breathe normally, adjusting the band to secure it. Do make sure your own
Right, we don't have a lot of
mask
time
before
because we're
helping anyone
taxiing
else.
straight onto the runway here, so we can go ahead with our
Your life jacket
before
is
takeoff
underneath or
checks.
beside your seat. In the event of landing
Before
on
takeoff,
water,
check to the line.
remove the life jacket from its container and pull it
Flight
over your head.
attendants, take the seat for departure.
Pass the tapes round your waist and tie them securely in a double bow at the side. To inflate, pull the red toggle
Cabin
shown.
has been notified. Cross-flow manual.
The air can
Thrust
be
reverse is
topped up by
on.
using
Takeoff
the
data
mouthpiece.
set for ground. 0, 3 are now first fixed identified. 3,
Do
3,000,
not inflate
0,
the life
100
jacket until
feet
you are outside
pre-selected.
the aircraft.
Set.
We will supply life cots for
Fuel
babies
main
and
control
life
confirmed.
jackets for
Takeoff
infants.
config.
Checked.
Finally, ladies
Check.
and gentlemen,
Full takeoff check
please
to the
study
line,
the safety
please.
card and take notice of the fasten seatbelt sign. May we remind you that electrical portable items such as games
Before takeoff
and
checklist,
word
below the
processing
line.
equipment may interfere with the aircraft
Anti-ice.
systems and
Set.
must be switched off during
Caps.
takeoff and landing.
Checked.
Portable
Check.
telephones
Full
must
takeoff
be
check
switched
below
off
the
while
line,
the aircraft engines are running. As this is a no smoking service, the no smoking signs will remain on for the duration of the flight. Smoking is not permitted at any time whilst on board.
Okay, this is hotspot
If you have
1,
any
so we need to keep an eye
questions,
out
please
here.
ask one of the crew. Thank you.
Looks all clear. Landing lights on. Strobe lights on. Okay, I'm going to quickly turn off the APU because that's actually my job. Nice and windy. Okay, here we go. Runway heading check.
Check.
Set thrust.
Thrust set. $80 knots.
Check.
V1. Rotate. Positive rate.
Gear up.
Gear up.
Autopilot on.
Autopilot on.
Climb sequence. Set speed 235. Landing lights off. Taxi light off. Logo light off. Set speed 290. After takeoff check. Right, that's us good to go, powering our way up to 33,000
Soon be passing
feet.
through the cabin with your meal. On the menu today, we have a variety of dishes. Full details.
Now it's just a case of managing our speed as we climb and cruise on to Durban through the
Meal
clouds.
service, we ask that you return your seat to the upright position as a courtesy to your fellow travellers. Thank you.
Okay, we have ice, so let's go ahead and turn these on. And that just smashes our climb performance. Hopefully we can break through the clouds shortly and then we can turn off the anti-ice. But I mean, wow, we almost 18,000 feet and we still haven't been out of the clouds at all. Well, there we go. We can see some light. It's getting lighter. Oh wow, we got rain, we got icing for sure. You can see it there on the windscreen wiper. Wow, almost 20,000 feet now, still in the clouds. I had a little bit of rain for a second there, which makes sense why we're picking up ice. We're still picking up ice. I will admit, ice is not something that I deal with particularly often on my flights here in South Africa. Climb rate, oh there we got some more rain. 1,400 feet a minute. Not amazing, but it's not the worst I've seen. 20,000 feet. Need to get out of these clouds soon. What's our outside temperature at the moment? 5? No, I have a feeling our approach into Durban is going to look something like this. Let's see what Durban's weather looks like at this point. Okay, it's actually improved. It was IFR. It's now reporting marginal VFR. Light rain. Winds 230 at 5. So runway 24 is definitely the correct choice. And visibility is okay at the moment. So maybe not too bad actually. There is pretty poor visibility around the airport, so could still be fairly interesting on approach. Okay, the other thing we've just got to keep an eye on is our speed. We're looking for Mach 0.74. And then we'll switch over to Mach hold instead of speed hold. Wow, lots of rain up here. Okay, rain stopped. It definitely is looking a bit lighter there on that side. Can we break out of the clouds? Yeah, I think we're approaching the top. Curious, let's look outside and see what the ice looks like. Okay, a little bit of ice on the front. Not too serious. Wing anti-ice and engine anti-ice is on, so yeah, that's nothing we can't deal with. I wonder if we can turn the anti-ice off yet. I think it might be a little too early still. Once we break out here, we should be able to. Wow, that looks so cool. Okay, what is our temperature now? 0. Oh, it's still... There's definitely moisture here because of the clouds, so I don't think we can turn off anti-ice yet. You're only going... Wow, 600 feet per minute climb, not great. But I don't want to level off here in the clouds. I want to get out of this if we can, so we can turn off anti-ice, get a bit more performance. Well, we've broken through a layer, but there's definitely another one above us. What are we at now? 25,500. Let's turn off anti-ice and see. Oh, check how much performance we get out of that. It's crazy. Okay, it seems alright. No ice warnings so far. Right, 28,000 feet now, still in the clouds, but I think we've escaped most of our ice issues here. Hopefully, we might be pushing out of this layer now. There we go. So the 33,000 foot cruise makes sense then. It's to get us above the clouds. Okay, I haven't been paying attention to the speed because I'm looking at other things. Geez, 0.76. Okay, no wonder we're struggling here. Okay, that'll give us a bit of boost in climb rate as well. Right, there we go, finally out of the clouds, and that's 1,000 feet to go to cruise. Right, there we are at cruise. So now it's time to start managing our speed a bit more actively. Yeah, we're still just hovering on the edge of the clouds, which is pretty hectic. 33,000 feet. Right, let's double check here that we actually have a top of descent marker, which we don't appear to because of this. Put that in. Where's our top of descent? Oh, genius, didn't execute it. Okay, we're coming up to top of descent, not far from where we are now. Okay, since we're coming up to top of descent, let's go ahead and do our approach brief. Are you ready for the approach brief?
Go ahead.
Okay, so let's go and close these guys, and we need APMAT 1 Bravo and airport and approach. What did I actually pick? .24 Yankee, which is this one. Okay, so max 250 at APMAT and above 6500, 210 at LE03, 003. That's pretty straightforward. We come all the way in and down along the coast. That's fairly simple. So let's go through our actual briefing here. Right, so first things first is our star is APMAT 1 Bravo chart. Plate 20-2 Alpha, and our speeds are checked. This is one to be aware of as well. Max 180 when established, and then max 150 at 4 DME, which is not an issue for us at all. Okay, we're arriving onto runway 24. And it is ILS Yankee, which is this one. Frequency 109.7. Let's double check. I don't know if this will be set yet, but we can check. Why did I click on that? So let's put it in 109.7. And then 242 degrees we'll check as well. Intercept altitude 3,000 feet. Glide angle is 3 degrees. And then decision altitude. So for Cat 1, we should be good for Cat 1 on this approach. So decision alt 501. Which is 200 feet decision height. So let's go here. Decision height 200. There you go. Decision height is set. Reverse thrust is armed. We don't have an auto brake in this aircraft. Right, then taxi. Right, we were arriving runway 24, which is great. It means we have a short taxi, so we'll probably vacate at Golf. And then Alpha Echo into the bay. We cross hotspot 1, so we need to be aware particularly of other aircraft taxiing down on Alpha or coming and holding from Bravo if they've sent them around that way to get around us coming in, so we'll pay attention to that. Our gate is Alpha 5, and we've been through hotspots. Transition altitude is... oh, don't see it on here. By ATC, that's cool. Right, that's our approach brief. Approach brief. Any questions?
No questions.
Cool, then for our descent, so we'll wait for 18,000 feet and then do the descent check. Before our descent, we are going to descend down to 3,000 feet. Set altitude 3,000. Set altitude 3,000. Okay, and we'll use the VNAV until we get pretty close. And remember to switch off VNAV in order to be able to intercept the ILS. Okay, coming up to our top of descent where we can go to VNAV. Right, let's go into VNAV. Okay, here we go, descending into Durban. Once again, we're going into the clouds. And if it's anything like Joburg at the moment, we'll be in the clouds most of the way down. QNH for Durban, just so we are prepared. (1028), same as Durban. Okay, let's see, what restriction do we have here? 250 knots at APMAT. Set speed 250. Right, so slowing down to meet that 250 speed restriction. Oh, the other thing I didn't actually brief was our alternate. So if we can't get into Durban, we actually have fuel to go to Port Elizabeth, which this kind of weather front has already passed over, so it's fairly open out that way in terms of clouds, etc. So I'd say we probably do 2 approaches into Durban if we can't get in, and if we can't get in on the second one and we do another go around, we'll divert to Port Elizabeth. Okay, there's the ice again, so let's do this. Right, let's go here in case. Right, so there's our secondary route. Takes us to PE, set up in case we need it. Oh, a little bit of gap in the clouds here. Need a little bit of speed brake here to bring us down to 250 because we're already at idle. Oh, there's the rain. Never mind. Okay, there we go, at 250. I think the next waypoint then is 210. Yeah. Set speed 210. Descent check.
Pressurization set. Fuel checked. Altimeters.
1028 set left.
1029. Set right. Landing data. Set for 301 kilograms. Thrust reverses.
Armed.
Lights.
Set.
Seatbelt sign.
On.
Seatbelt shoulder harness.
Check left.
Checked right. Approach briefing.
Complete.
Descent check complete.
Right, we are then good to go. I don't want to jinx it, but at least there's no turbulence. I mean, it's been really pretty in the clouds so far, and the only thing that would ruin that is having it really bumpy, but it's been smooth. Okay, we're at idle thrust. We are slowly slowing down. We just have to keep an eye on that 210 restriction. Okay, flap speeds. We can go all the way to flaps 20 below 230 knots. So maybe I should give us a stage of flaps here. If we're not going to make... It looks like we might make that speed restriction, but otherwise I can go one stage of flaps. Cool, we're pretty much at 210 now. Can actually bring in a bit of power. Okay, let's have a look here. On a 9.7. So we'll keep an eye when our localizer is alive. We can actually, mind you, we can probably stay on nav until we get lined up with the runway anyway. Landing lights on. Set logo light on. Cool, 10,000 feet. We're already below the 250 knot restriction, so no worries. That's really, really pretty. Late afternoon. Oh, not too late. 20 past 3, quarter past 3. Course alive.
Roger.
Okay, so maybe we should switch out of VNAV shortly, go into vertical speed, down 1200 will be fine, and then activate or arm our approach mode. Set vertical speed down 1200. There's the rain again. Arm approach. Right, so we should then intercept that ILS shortly. Glide slope isn't alive yet, but it's okay. Flaps on.
Flaps 1.
Glide slope alive.
Roger.
Flaps 8.
Flaps 8.
Set heading 242. Okay, so if we have to go missed here, we'll follow the published missed approach procedure. Attempt a second landing. If we can't get in again, we'll pull up the secondary flight plan and divert to PE. And all of that should have been in the approach brief, but hey. Okay, wow, it is full on raining here. Okay, 13 nautical miles to go. So we should actually be slowing down because they did say max 180 on the glide slope, but we intercepted it quite far out. Set speed 180.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are about to land. Please notice the cabin lights
Flaps 20.
Flaps 20.
Gear down.
Gear down.
Set speed 141. Flaps 30.
Flaps 30.
Flaps 45.
Flaps 45. Before landing check. Landing gear.
Down 3 green.
Check the spoilers. Flaps 45. Before landing check complete.
$500 above minimums.
Stabilized. Check.
$100 above.
Check.
300. Minimums.
Minimums. Landing.
Minimums. Minimums. 100. Minimums. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
knots.
After landing check.
Please remain seated until the aircraft has come to a complete stop.
Right, there we go. Bit of a float. I still can't get used to it in this aircraft because the engines are at the back. When you pull the throttles back, when you flare, it wants to go up. Whereas, you know, the 737 and the A320 and whatever, when you pull the thrust off, they settle onto the runway. This one noses up and wants to float because of the CG and where the power is sitting behind the CG. But anyway, bit of a float. It wasn't the worst landing ever, but definitely not the best. But we are here safely in Durban. It's not raining at the airport, which is what I said. Quite a bit of cloud, low visibility and rain around the airport, but the airport was okay.
We'd like to welcome you to our destination. For your safety, please remain seated with your seatbelt fastened, leaving all items.
Oh, I just took the wrong turn. I was supposed to take the next one. Oops.
Before you leave the aircraft, please ensure you have all your personal items and hand luggage with you. Please be careful when opening overhead lockers, as items may fall out, causing injury. We'd like to remind you that smoking is not permitted until you reach the designated smoking
Right, it's just a
area.
case of taxiing in now.
If you require assistance when you leave the aircraft, please contact a member of our
And
ground staff.
we'll park up and run the
If you're
shutdown check.
connected to another flight today and hold a boarding card and transfer wallet advising you of your departure terminal, please follow the signs to flight connections. This will lead you on to your departure terminal, and please check your gate number.
Yeah, it's
in
an
the
Airlink
departure
livery.
lounge.
That must be a
To
CRJ.
avoid missing your onward
Airlink
flight,
don't
we strongly
obviously.
recommend that you go straight
They don't
to the
actually
departure
operate the
terminal.
CRJ.
For those
They
of you who
operate
do not have a boarding card, please go directly to
ERJs.
the flight connections desk. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the entire airline, thank you very much for choosing to fly with us today, and we hope to see you again in the near future. Thank you.
Taxi light off. Right, this is our gate here, Alpha 5. That was interesting. Did he start the APU? Not really. Oh, I remember this. This happens sometimes. There we go. Okay, we'll just wait for that to start up and be ready. Okay, is it stable? There we go. Right, so we can shut down the engines. Seatbelt signs off. Anti-ice. Off. Packs can stay on on the APU. Fuel pumps off. Hydraulic 3 off. Beacon off. And then nose wheel. There we go. Shutdown check.
Shocks and brakes.
Out and on.
Seatbelt sign.
Off.
Anti-ice.
Off.
Packs.
Set.
Fuel pumps.
Set. Set. Off.
Hydraulic 3A.
Off.
Beacon.
Off.
Nose wheel steering.
Off.
Transponder standby. Shutdown check complete.
Right, there we have it. We have arrived safely in a nice kind of overcast late afternoon here at Durban King Shaka. Our passengers are now deboarding from PACX. We're 6 minutes early, which is pretty cool. Let's bring this up and just end our flight here. We can also close FS2Crew, but let's go and end this flight and see what they say. Soft landing, -75. Yeah, we floated long enough to do that, so flight time 47 minutes. We didn't even get any water. That's all good. Oh, that's because we took so long to get to our cruise altitude. They didn't serve anything. But overall, what was our overall 95? So not bad. There we go. That's our second flight for Salt Air, which is my new PACX career. But anyway, that's going to bring us to the end of the video. If you enjoyed, you know what to do down below, and I will see you in the next one.